If you travel to Iceland in the winter, you have to be prepared for days like this as well. I'm talking about day 4 of our trip in Iceland. Stay with me, I'll tell you the whole story. Hello again, this is Sunny and you're watching Sunny Escapades. We are talking about our trip to Iceland, which was very eventful considering everything. So let's get to day 4. The day 4 kind of ran on from day 3 because if you remember, I told you that we had been staying up, Roberta and me, we had been staying up in the front room of that, like a little corridor kind of place in this rented accommodation, because that was the place, that was the room which was towards north, and we watched for the northern lights from the window for the whole night. Okay, so Roberta went to bed about 5 o'clock. I went to bed about 7:30 a.m. So yeah, you can imagine that I did not get up early. I woke up about 11:30, and even then, because it was like kind of cold kind of day, so I just stayed in bed a little bit longer, just working on the laptop as an excuse to stay in bed. And when I did come out, I could see that it was a snowy day, and that house itself was really good for that kind of snowy day because it had big windows from all directions. Okay, so you could see everywhere and you could see snow falling everywhere. And snow is really pretty and nice if you're watching it from the window while you are staying dry and warm. That's my best way to enjoy snow. There was a there was a proper hot tub outside on the wooden deck in this place, and in a nice weather I think that would have been really good. If you are that kind of person, you can just like hang out with friends, have a glass of wine, and stay in the hot water. And I think it is heated with geothermal energy and not an electrical hot tub. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what it seemed like, because even though it was outside, we had not turned it on, it was still hot. And it had a big foam kind of a lid over it. With the snow being so strong and the wind being so strong, it blew up that lid, that cover off of the hot tub. So I messaged the owners of the accommodation and they said, "Oh, can you please put that back on?" I said, "All right." So we didn't go right away, but I had some cereal first. I was hungry. Cereal was good. It was Icelandic cereal. It was good. And then we did go out. Both me and Roberta went out because it was a big cover, kind of heavy but also unwieldy. Working together as a team, we got it on to the hot tub properly, but then when we started to fasten it, we could not see that the fastenings were not compatible with the straps that were there, so we could not actually fasten it. It had those like plastic hook kind of things, so we just kind of put it on and had to leave it as best as we could. By the time we came back into the house, it had blown off again. Like, okay, I did not message the owners again. So it was a hot tub, but it was getting a lot of snow in the hot tub. If you're easily amused, you could just watch that for a few hours. So we just we talked a little bit, hung out, and then afterwards, because we were both tired, we just went back into our rooms, a little bit more rest. Ultimately, we decided, I think I slept another couple of hours, I think like 3 hours I slept, and then got up about 4 o'clock. Then we thought, okay, let's go buy some groceries, because it was a snowy day, but we can't go sightseeing. We had our list and we were not pressed for time. We did not have like too many things to cover, so even if we went next day, we could see whatever we had left on our list. This was fine. So we went out to this place called Selfoss. Selfoss is about 18 miles. It's about 20-25 minutes drive. It's an easy drive. There wasn't much traffic. It was snowing. The roads were a bit tricky, but it was okay. I was able to manage, okay, in this 4x4. Remember this name, Selfoss, because this is going to feature very heavily in the story later on when things start happening when shit hits the fan. And please make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss the next episode, because things are gonna happen now in Iceland. If you've been to Iceland, please do comment whether you went in summer or winter, because I want to know if do people go there in summer, in winter actually, because even the northern lights and everything, because I felt a little bit stupid making that plan. When I was making the plan, it was good, but when we got there and we saw everything and everything that happened, I felt a little bit silly that I had made this plan for winter. But yeah, do let me know if you have done this sort of thing, or was it just me being stupid. Anyway, let's carry on. So we went to Selfoss, to this place called Bonus, which is a supermarket. Could not find the sandwiches I wanted there, but we found some other stuff. Then we went to the other one, which is called Kronan. Both of these are cheaper supermarkets there, so keep in mind. I think there's another one called 1021 or something like that, which is pretty expensive, which is a high-end supermarket. So in England also that's true. It's just that in Iceland prices are much higher, that these things become more important for you to remember. So Bonus and Kronan, these are the supermarkets to go to if you are in Iceland and you want to, feed yourself without spending all your money on food. Going to restaurants is even more expensive. I'll tell you in a second. So we were in the middle of nowhere. This is why this house was so great, because it was in the middle of nowhere in Hella. The area was called Hella, but this was in the field. So there were some other houses far away. We could see them, but there was not much of a light pollution in the night. So for Northern Lights, this is really great. If you're going to, actually I'll put a link in the description so that if you want to check it out, you can check it out. It was a nice place, affordable, especially if you're with 2 or 3 friends. Oh, super affordable, and 3 bedrooms, huge living room. So we really like this place. So this was between Hella and Selfoss. On one side we had Hella, and on the other side towards Reykjavik side we had Selfoss. So we went to Kronan, and in Kronan I did find the bagel that I wanted, vegetarian bagel. We got some other stuff. This time I did not go overboard in shopping, because even in supermarkets in Iceland you can spend a lot of money if you're not careful. So got the bagel, got some Fanta and stuff like that. Then I needed to go to the toilet, and there was no toilet in the supermarket, no restroom. So I looked around, there was a cafe nearby. So I left Roberta to do her more shopping that she was doing, and went to the cafe, and there was a restroom. But you can't just go for the restroom, In London, they actually have in shops, in retail shops as well, they have a lock on the restroom, and they keep that key on a big block of wood so that nobody can take it home. So if you are a customer, you can ask for the key and they'll give you the key. You go and use the restroom and bring the key back. Similar thing in Ljubljana in Slovenia as well. But yeah, people are nicer in Slovenia, so I'm just biased. Anyway, so I went to the cafe, I looked at their menu, and okay, there's one thing that I can have which is affordable, so I'll sit down. So sat down, staff was lovely, very nice people. People in Iceland were actually nice. I was thinking that because it's a very expensive place, more upscale place, so maybe people will be very snobbish as well. Some people were a little bit snobbish, some people were like a little bit of a stick in the mud, but most people were lovely. And this is, again, I'm going to mention, next episode is going to be really a game changer. So we met some more people, and how we met them, that was not our preferred way of meeting people, but they were nice, wonderful people. Anyway, so coffee. There was only one thing that I could have there, and that was a hot chocolate, or was it a coffee? Oh, damn it, I forgot. I think it was a latte. So I had a latte which was about £7. Okay, that's all right. In Costa also, if you go in London, or if even in Doncaster, if you go to Costa, your coffee will be about £4.50. So okay, 7, fine. But here's the main differentiator. The next thing above that, the next thing more expensive than that, was some sort of a soup or a sandwich or something, which was about £18. So I'm like, okay. So I stayed with that one thing, just had water. The water they give you for free without even asking. And I had the coffee. And then by the time I was drinking that, then Roberta called me and said, where are you? So I told her I'm in the cafe, and she came over as well. And then she had hot chocolate. That's why I was thinking hot chocolate. So we sat there, took a little bit of a break. In the snowy weather, if you are running from car to the shop to the car, and the snow falling all over you in like big chunks, it's very tiring. It exhausts you. Not the running, but just being in that weather is very exhausting. So I think Roberta and I were both pretty happy to take a load off our feet, even though we had done maybe an hour's shopping in the grocery market. That's about it. But we were happy to sit down for a little bit, take a little break, have our hot drinks before moving on. So we did move on from there because we knew what time the sunset was going to happen. Came back. Here's one thing was good in Iceland. I was not worried about sunsets. Usually I'm very much hassled about sunset and sunrises, what time I'm getting up, where am I going to take the pictures. Here, no chance. You're not getting a sunset. So don't bother. So we just went back home and I made some fried eggs with toast for dinner. The pan, there was a little bit, it had some deposits on it, but it was okay, I guess, so, but there were lots of pan. It was a very well stocked house. So I made some and then Roberta made pasta, again homemade pasta, I think. So we were full up, and then starts our night, which is again the same thing. We wanted to watch for the Northern Lights. So Roberta took a visual in the front reception hall where the main window was towards the north, and she was waiting for, like a break in the clouds anywhere. And I was inside at dining table, at my laptop on the dining table, just doing some, notes and writing and stuff like that. But I was waiting if Roberta saw something, she would call me. And if she wanted to go to sleep, then I could take the visual. There was we had become, by this time, we had become like weather scientists, okay? We were experts in the Northern Lights. What is the KP index? What the cloud cover? How do we see the cloud cover? When is it going to break? What time? Which app? All of those things. So we knew that between 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the morning, there would be high KP index, which is the magnetic index, and also there will be a break in the cloud cover. That was the prediction. Those predictions changed from minute to minute and they were not always 100% reliable. So we had to wait at least till 3 or 4 o'clock. And we did. But nothing happened. Nothing at all. So next night, we knew that next night the KP index was going to be even higher. It should be around 7. If you want to see like really good activity in the Northern Lights, it should be around 7. But even if it is like 3 or 4, you can sometimes see. And sometimes what happens is, this is my tip to you, keep taking pictures of the sky, because sometimes you don't see that with your bare eyes, but you can see that from the camera. So if the activity is not very strong, okay. So we did not see anything, and the next day it was going to be raining all day. So we said, okay, whatever. So yeah, we kind of spent the whole night watching for it, but no luck. Then I'm going to go into the next day right away for 2 reasons. One is because nothing much has happened so far, but also you'll see, day 5 was an important day. So day 5, we, after watching for the whole Northern Lights, we stayed, both of us woke up late in the morning, and I think I got about 8 o'clock still. And then I had a shower, had breakfast like cereal, and then we thought, okay, today it was not snowy, so we could go out. We left at about 1 o'clock because we knew that this is the time, like about 7 or 8 o'clock, the sun was going to set, so we could come back within that time, and we knew how long it would take us to get to these points where we were going. So the roads at this time, they were all covered in snow. They were covered in snow and ice, but they were okay. I was able to drive on them okay, and I remember thinking that I was really worried about the Icelandic roads, and I was right to be worried. But it's been alright. I'm doing fine. I was feeling, I would not say complacent, but I was feeling happy that I was able to drive on those roads. If I knew how I was going to rue that moment, that thought. That happened before the sunset. So from there, the first stop we had was about an hour's drive, which was this great geyser, which is called Geysir. Geyser. Geysir. And this was really good because this is the geyser. There are so many geysers in Iceland, so many. But this is one of the most famous ones because it is very high. There are several geysers in there. Some of them are very hot, some of them are lukewarm. But this one is the biggest one, and it shoots out of the ground into the air very fast and very high, about 10-15 feet, sometimes 20 feet, depends on, not everyone, every time it's not same, it's not a digital thing, it's a real thing, sometimes like 5 feet. So you have to watch for it, you have to stand there and watch about 10 minutes. If you watch for 10-15 minutes, it will happen. So every few minutes, it erupts. And Roberta loved it. Roberta liked it a lot. I liked it as well, but I kind of knew what we would see. So my expectations were the same as the event. Whereas I think she had not expected that it would be this grand. So she was happy with that, which made me happy, like because I had made the plan. When Robert and I travel, sometimes I make the plans and sometimes she makes the plans, and the other one just relaxes and lets the other person do it, which is quite good because then one of us gets a rest, and also we kind of know each other's tastes, so we manage. We do a good job. We have never had any complaints. Okay. So yeah, this time I had made the plans, and so we were happy to see. We walked around and saw that it was like a very foggy because of that whole gaseous, the whole gases in the air. But it's something worth watching. So if you go to Iceland, this is within the golden circle that they have. So one of the things was Geysir, and we spent maybe an hour there. And this is where I realized that we had bought those little grips. So those metal grips which are like a springs, and they are good for your shoes. You put them on top of your shoes to walk in snow and ice, okay, because they give you so much grip that you would not slip. The problem, however, is that you would never be, as a tourist at least, you would never be walking only on snow and ice. You would be walking sometimes on snow and ice, and sometimes on the pavement, sometimes on wooden boards. Like on this path, there were wooden boards, and we walked on the ice maybe 5 feet. Okay, and those spring things, they are not good for that kind of activity. When you are walking on the wood, they're gonna dig into your feet. So I never got to use them. They were just a waste of money. So if you're going to Iceland, maybe you don't need those spikes. Anyway, so once we spent that time and then we came back, and I have this little tripod kind of thing which is called Pod Pro. It's a fantastic gadget for people like me who have a small camera, which is my Osmo Pocket 3, because it opens up as a tripod. It can open up as a long selfie stick as well. It's got multiple different ways of hanging and putting on the ground and everything. So I use it a lot, and I usually keep it in my pocket. It's not very big. It's like 9 inches long, so my jacket pockets are very big. Oh, with the gloves being in my jacket pockets and everything, I dropped that somewhere without realizing it. After visiting the Geysir, we went to the information center where there were lots of shops and restaurant and everything. We walked around a lot, and oh my god, it was lost. When we were coming out and I wanted to get it out, we were already on the footpath, and I reached for it like, oh my god, I lost it. Where is it? I don't have it. So we went back. Both Roberta and I went back and we looked all over. I had gone to the restroom there, so I went to the restroom. Even looked in the stalls. I thought maybe when I was drying my hands, it fell down. So ultimately, Roberta said, like, have you talked to the restaurant people? Maybe somebody picked it up. Maybe they handed it over. So no, I don't know. So usually what happens is when there's a queue and then people are busy, staff is busy, you kind of have to wait your turn. But this place, people were nice. So there was somebody who was not handling the queue, off duty, and he came over like, okay, yeah, how can I help you? I said, like, have you seen this little selfie stick? Like, I can't say Pod Pro, he would not know what I mean. So he said, no, I don't know, let me check. So he checked the drawer, did not find anything. And he said, what was it like? I said, it was black, it was this big, it's like a tripod. I went into the other area where there were tables, and he found, like, that's it, that's me, that's my Pod Pro. Like, oh, I was so happy because it's not super expensive, but it's really useful. I would have missed it, and I would have to spend another like maybe £100 because my other battery pack was also connected to that. So I was really happy with that. That's what I mean, that people were nice, that he gave me time, he looked for me properly without trying to dismiss me like, okay, sorry, not saying it, nothing like that. So that's even in a busy place. Busy places, usually you find people who are like sick of people and are answering unnecessary questions and all that. So from there, we went back, got into the car, and then we drove to this place called Gullfoss. Gullfoss is also in the Golden Circle, and that is a big, really, really big, majestic waterfall. It was absolutely worth the hype, absolutely gorgeous. But the problem was that it was a little bit kind of snowed. It was not frozen, but there was snow all around it. I think in the summer, when there is greenery around it and there will be more flow, then it would look even better. but even now it was beautiful and it was worth traveling and seeing. The problem, I've already mentioned to you that everywhere there is a little bit of torture in all the Icelandic sites. So for the geyser, that torture was the smell, because the geyser that shoots out of the ground, it smells like rotten ash, you know, the sulfuric thing. So that was, you have to tolerate that if you want to see that site. That's one. And Gullfoss, in itself, it was okay, just a lot of stairs that you have to be careful going up and down on those wooden stairs with the snow and ice on the ground. But also it was snowing at the time, so okay, fine. So we took as many pictures and videos as we could. Snow gets into the pictures a little bit, which is a shame, but also it was falling all over us as well. And I had bought these hand warmers from Amazon, which were very nice. They are like little packets, little sachets. So you take out a little, like a little pillow shape, and you can hold it in your hand. It gets warm, it warms up your hand. So they were really good. So I had bought a whole pack, and I had asked Roberta, like, do you want me to carry some for you as well? She said, no, I'll be okay with just the clothes. No, she also needed them. She also borrowed some. But I had enough that, yeah, I did not, it was like whole abundance, borrow as many as you want. So I kept them in the car, and then I usually used to put them some under my leg where there was, you know, snow or getting very cold, and some one in my seat pocket, not the seat pocket, door pocket, and just hold it in my hand whenever I could. They were really good psychologically. I don't know how much they helped us stay warm, but psychologically they were very comforting. So yeah, that's one thing that was worth it. They were not very expensive as well. So once we saw the waterfall, then we thought, okay, now let's start. Oh yeah, there was a restaurant there as well at the waterfall. So we had some hot chocolate. And Roberta had something like a big pastry in her bag, which she had bought from a supermarket. So we shared that, and we sat down and had our hot chocolates. It was lovely. Oh, and if we knew that that would be our last meal for a long time, I don't know what we would have done, but I would have bought some more food. Even if it was expensive there, I would have bought some more food and eaten that. But I have to thank Roberta for that she had that pastry, so we were pretty good for food for a couple of hours at least. So we started back from there, and on the way back from there on a mountain road around the bend happened our big accident. I'm gonna stop here. You can think of it as a cliffhanger if you want, but actually there is a lot of detail that I'm gonna share about that incident. There's so much to learn from there as well, both in terms of life philosophy and how to travel in Iceland or in the snowy areas. But stay with me. There will be a lot of these lessons in that. So please come back for the next one. Subscribe, ring the bell, whatever you need to do. You're smart people. You know what to do. And I will cover that in the next one, because if I start talking about that now, it's going to be a really long episode. I don't want to cover that in here. So thank you so much for watching, and do come back for the next one. We'll tackle the big accident and how Sunny and Roberta survived a nightmare in Iceland. How's that for a title? I think that's a good title. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful week, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.